Right friends, welcome back to English Comprehension and Vocabulary. This is session number 4. As we have announced yesterday, this discussion will be on one article of, this is editorial of the Economic Times of 29th December. This is one important editorial, that is why I have taken this, and tomorrow we are going to deliberate on the editorial of 11th January, which speaks about not RBI's job to oppose government. This we are going to deliberate tomorrow, and today go ahead and sell off non-strategic PSUs. So, this is the article which we are going to deliberate. This is editorial which appeared on 29th December in the Economic Times. Government should go ahead and sell off non-strategic PSUs. Strategic, non-strategic. Suppose some defense establishments are there, they may become strategic. Government need not be into any equipment manufacturing like BHEL, government need not be into coal production, government need not be into power generation, they are no more strategic from country's perspective. Telecom infrastructure, that is not strategic. So, like that you can bifurcate into strategic and non-strategic. If you look at atomic energy, if you look at defense, these are all strategic sectors. And if you look at others like telecommunication, and if you look at the equipment manufacturing, electronics manufacturing, they are all non-strategic sectors. So, the intention of the article is government should go ahead and sell off non-strategic PSUs. PSUs means public sector undertakings, sometimes called public sector enterprises. These are the enterprises where government's stakeholding is 51% and above. And here, before understanding this, you should have clear idea about what is meant by disinvestment. Disinvestment is the opposite of investment. Investment means we invest something, that is investment. All of you are familiar with investments. If you are purchasing a real estate, a house or shares, bonds, mutual funds, these are all examples of investments. Opposite is disinvestment. Government invested in public sector enterprises. How to reduce that? How to sell something? How to sell totally? How to sell part of it? So, that is the meaning of disinvestment. And disinvestment is divided into two parts. If someone talks about disinvestment, it may mean minority stake sale or strategic sale. These things are very important, minority stake sale or strategic sale. If government is selling some 5% in BHEL, some 10% in Coal India, that is minority stake sale. Minority stake sale means majority control or minimum 51% will be with government. Government by keeping minimum 51%, they sell something 5%, 10% something, that is minority stake sale. Then strategic sale means completely selling away the public sector enterprise to private parties, completely selling everything to private parties, that is a strategic sale, or you can say privatization, or other name is government coming out of majority control. If government comes out of majority control or government sells everything, that is a strategic sale, or in turn that is nothing but privatization. Minority stake sale still keeps government majority stake in that particular public sector enterprise. So, this is the basic difference. It should be in your mind whatever exam you are appearing for. And here the article is government appears to be unlikely to push ahead. Government is not going to push ahead with its divestment plan. Disinvestment is also called divestment, please do not forget. In the current fiscal, in the current financial year, due to choppy market and the comfortable revenue position, there are two reasons. One is choppy market, other one is comfortable revenue position. Comfortable revenue position because petrol prices reduced, government imposed excise duty, subsequently government revenues increased like anything, especially indirect taxes increased, and government's revenue position is satisfactory. That is one reason. The second reason is choppy market. and people talk about a choppy hairstyle. At the same time, choppy waters. What is the meaning of choppy waters? This is nothing but small rough waves in sea caused by the wind. If wind causes small waves in the sea, they are known as choppy waters, CHOPPY. Sometimes you call choppy hairstyle, that is also different. That means that indicates similar meaning, choppy hairstyle. And if you look at economy, this is a choppy markets. Choppy markets means stock markets move up and down, but overall the result is the same after a month or 2 months. If the stock index BSE is 26,000 today, it may move 300 ahead tomorrow, it may crash 300 day after tomorrow, and it can go down another 300 day after tomorrow. So, something like that, it moves, but ultimately there is no real movement in either direction, then it is called choppy market. So, choppy market means stock markets move up and down considerably, but with no resulting overall price movement in either direction. Overall price movement will not be there, only daily changes, this way, that way, this way, that way will be there. And another important aspect, you may ask, why government sells minority stake sale or strategic sale? Government undertakes minority stake sale basically to enhance public participation. When public participation is increased, then what will happen? Transparency will increase, governance will increase, productivity will increase, public sector enterprises will become answerable to some public. That is why their efficiency will increase. What is the meaning of strategic sale? I have already told you. And why governments undertake strategic sale? Some of the public sector enterprises are under losses. It is not possible to retrieve them. The other reason is some of the public sector undertakings are no more required nowadays, because some sectors are considered to be no more strategic in the present day world. Because of these two reasons, strategic sale is to be undertaken. Right? Let us come back to the passage. So, government somehow is not moving ahead in disinvestment, and probably, if I am not wrong, this year's target is rupees 56,500 crores for disinvestment. Rupees 56,500 crores for disinvestment this year, and government is not pushing ahead because of two reasons: choppy market and comfortable revenue position. It shows complacency and defeats the goal of boosting the performance of state-owned enterprises. It shows complacency. If I read daily 4 hours, my goal is to become an IAS officer, but I read only 3 hours or 4 hours a day, then it shows there is lot of complacency. Similarly, if a person wants to become bank officer, but he is not looking at English comprehension, at the same time he is not looking at logical reasoning, there is lot of complacency in the preparation. Right. So, that is the meaning of complacency. So, in that perspective only this word is used. It shows complacency and defeats the goal of boosting the performance of state-owned enterprises. So, it defeats the goal of boosting, the goal of improving the performance of state-owned enterprises. Then the government must proactively sell shares on its own. It should take a proactive step. Basically, proactive is used when on its own it is taking actions, sometimes in anticipation of challenges in future. In anticipation of challenges in future, if somebody is taking a decision on its own, on their own they are taking decision, nobody is asking them to study, but proactively he started studying. If you take a boy of around 10 years age, a boy of 10 years age, he himself started reading the Hindu. So, that you can say he proactively started reading newspaper The Hindu. No school teacher told him to read The Hindu, but he himself on his own started reading The Hindu. Under those circumstances, you can use this proactively. So, government must proactively sell shares of profit-making state-owned companies that are not strategic anymore. So, government, state-owned enterprises, government should sell those shares. The stake sales, here there is a meaning bit, slight difference between stake and share. Stake and share, please look into this picture. Stake indicates ownership. If you have got 30% ownership in this house, you along with your friend purchased this house, you have 30% ownership. So, that is you have 30% stake in the house, and you have purchased some shares of Reliance Industries, you have some stake in Reliance Industries, you have some stake in NTPC. Shares means individual units. Reliance Industries may sell each share at 100 rupees, that individual unit is a share. If you purchase 100 shares, that is your stake. So, there is a difference between stake and share, please understand. Stake indicates your total ownership, share indicates your just unit, right. So, this is important difference, right. Let us move ahead in the passage. In the passage, the next is about the stake sale need not have to wait for the right level of stock prices, as the markets are choppy, moving up and down without any real movement. The stake sales, that means the share sales, need not to wait for the right level of stock prices. Large scale disinvestment in these PSUs will help shore up their performance, will help improve their performance, will help shore up. I will tell you one example. When rupee is depreciating too much, when rupee is depreciating too much, then RBI intervenes. What RBI will do? RBI will intervene by selling dollars in open market. So, you can say RBI intervened to shore up the currency, to shore up the rupee, that means to support the rupee, right. So, to support something is known as shore up. RBI, because of its intervention, supported the fall of currency, or you can say RBI intervention definitely helped shore up rupee, right. The case for the government to exit sectors such as steel and power is compelling. The case for the government to exit sectors like steel and power. What is the need for the government to stay in steel and power? The need for the government to exit sectors such as steel and power is compelling, given that the private sector has developed technical and managerial capability to operate in these areas. Private sector has got necessary competence nowadays. Why government has gone for public sector enterprises after independence? Government has gone for public sector enterprises after independence because of the reason in those days sufficient know-how is not available with private sector, and at the same time government strongly felt that this is the best way of developing self-reliance in our country, which ultimately proved to be partial success, right friends. So, here the meaning of compelling I will explain. There is a strong reason. Compelling means there is a strong reason. I will explain with one example. Here a family is staying in a rural village. There is very small school is there, and students are highly intelligent. The boys are highly intelligent, but there is no school in the village. Small school is there. The quality is not up to the mark, but the children are highly intelligent. Under those circumstances, read this sentence. The children are so intelligent that there is compelling reason to join them in good school in the town. Have you understood the meaning of compelling? There is a strong reason, strong justification. The children are so intelligent that there is a compelling reason to join them in good school in the town. So, there is a compelling reason to exit from steel and power sectors, because government has got no reason to stay in these sectors, because private sector has developed enough competence by this time. Next, the government should foray into new sectors, advanced manufacturing in microelectronics, aerospace, telecom, new generation drugs, where the private sector does not have the requisite expertise and capability. Here the government should foray into new sectors. Please understand, this foray is to be used in certain circumstances. This foray is used when some organization is venturing into some new areas. Let us look at an example. Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries is famous for its petroleum sector and petrochemicals, that is the mainstay of Reliance Industries. And if Reliance Industries expands its petrochemical sector, you should not use the word foray. Reliance Industries, if it enters into different sectors like gene editing, if Reliance Industries is entering into unknown territories or non-conventional territories and they are different from their own business, that is different from their own business working, then under those circumstances you have to use this word foray. Reliance Industries is planning to foray into gene editing. So, please mind this word is to be used calculatedly. The government should foray means it has to enter into new sectors, not the conventional sectors. There is no point to stay in sectors like power, electronic equipment, or you can say the issues pertaining to this steel and infrastructure. Government should look at the new sectors. That is why it is used, the passage used the word foray. Government should foray into new sectors, and in these sectors, private sector does not have the requisite expertise and capability. In between two, you have advanced manufacturing in microelectronics, right from here right up to here. You have to read it from the perspective that what he want to say about new sectors. So, this indicates what are those new sectors, and subsequently you have to read by leaving this, then only you will understand the passage. That means, first the passage between these two lines or two small lines is what it tries to indicate is new sectors. What is the meaning of new sectors? He tried to indicate these are the new sectors, and please read again. The government should foray into new sectors where the private sector does not have the requisite expertise and capability. In these sectors, private sector has got no expertise as well as capability. Here there is a small difference between expertise and capability. You should have clear difference between expertise and capability. Expertise is different, capability is different. Expertise means having sufficient skill and knowledge, that is expertise. So, if someone talks about expertise, that is with regard to skill and knowledge, and the other one is capability. China's steel industry is capable of producing around 800-900 million tons of steel. It is capable, he is capable of lifting huge stone. So, capability is different, expertise is different. There is slight difference in these two. Please understand, expertise means it is having skill or knowledge. Capability means to produce something more, to do something more. So, there is a fine difference between expertise and capability, and as the private sector has got not sufficient expertise and capability, public sector should enter into new areas. A dynamic approach. Narendra Modi is the dynamic Prime Minister. So, what is the meaning of it? Having new ideas, new energy, new enthusiasm. So, that is the meaning of dynamic. A dynamic approach is needed for the government to create companies that get into serious R&D. In the country, what is required now is serious R&D, and akin to, what is the meaning of akin? Akin means similar to, or you can say that means there is one clear example in front of us. Akin is used when some of the qualities, are exactly same, then you have to use akin. The qualities of so and so is akin to qualities of so and so. The behavioral pattern of a son is akin to his father. Akin to means having same qualities, at least some similar qualities. That then we can use akin. This word is very important. Akin to state-owned C dot that showed promise to boost indigenous telecom R&D. Indigenous means when something is native to particular country, native to particular place, developed in particular place, designed in particular place. If something is designed in our country, if something is totally designed by our people, you can say indigenous. When some people or origin, or you can say when some tribals or native to particular area, we call indigenous people, indigenous tribes, because they are native to that area, living on for generations. So, if somebody uses this indigenous, that means native, local to particular area, they are living for generations, then that is indigenous people. When something is produced in our country, or then you can say this is indigenously developed, right. So, the meaning of the word indigenous is very important. Basically, state-owned CDOT showed promise to boost indigenous telecom research and development. Similarly, government should look at serious R&D similar to what was done by C dot to boost indigenous telecom R&D. It should also swiftly wind up. Swiftly means very fast, quickly as possible. It should also swiftly wind up loss making companies and use the money garnered. It should wind up, it should sell loss making companies and the money it got. And please do not use every time this garnered. Garnered means the money which it has got after difficult exercise, then only you have to use garner, right. Please use garner and understand garner quite different. That means this is something you have to use under specific circumstances only, not always. So, here after swiftly winding up loss making companies, use that money generated, or you can say money garnered. Garnered means the money generated after difficult exercise through reshuffling assets. Reshuffling of assets. Reshuffling assets means the investments, or you can say we have discussed about expertise capability, then C dot we discussed about it. This is reshuffling. When do we use this reshuffling? Reshuffling is used, all of you are familiar with the cabinet reshuffle. Cabinet reshuffle means ministers, some ministers changed portfolios, some minister became another portfolio, holding another portfolio, the minister holding some portfolio is changed. Like that, it is reshuffling of cabinet, and here the reshuffling is used in one sense that in this reshuffling means that exchange of the investment, capital investment to build infrastructure. What he wants to convey is by selling public sector enterprises, whatever the money government will get, that will be used, that can be used to build infrastructure, right, that the country badly needs. That is why reshuffling he used. One place selling assets, getting money, and it is being used for some other purpose. That is why reshuffling is used, right. So, here the total meaning is it should also swiftly wind up loss making companies and use the money garnered through reshuffling assets as capital investment to build infrastructure that the country badly needs. Let us look at the last paragraph here. The last paragraph is of the budgeted target of, as I have already told you, budgeted target is rupees 56,500 crores this fiscal year. The government has so far raised about rupees 21,400 crores only through share buyback in companies that include Coal India, NALCO, HCL, NHPC, etc. So, through share buyback, when the companies have got excess money, they will resort to the practice of buying back shares, that is known as share buyback. I am not going into the details under what circumstances this share buyback takes place and what are the advantages of share buyback. I am not going into those, and here most of this 21,000 sorry, this so far raised 21,432 crore through share buyback in companies, apart from 2096 crore. 2096 crore was the government got 2096 crore as part sale of its holding in specified undertaking of UTI, in selling part share in SUUTI, that is specified undertaking of UTI. Government has got some stake in that. Government got 2096 crores by selling partly, and at the same time government got 21,432 crore through share buyback in companies that include Coal India, Nalco, HCL and HPC, etc. So, through share buyback it has got 21,432 crores, and 3/4 of the amount has been raised by buybacks. Through share buybacks, 3/4 of the amount has been raised, which preclude. What is the meaning of preclude? This is very important word. I will tell you with two examples. One is athlete. You look at this athlete, he is quite good in athletics, but he suffered an injury, permanent injury, and because of his permanent injury, his career suffered badly. That means the exact or correct sentence to use is, athlete suffered an injury that precluded the possibility of athletic career. Because of the injury, his career could not go ahead, precluded. Another example I will tell you, there is a group going for trekking, but because of bad weather, they could not go ahead. Under those circumstances, you can use this word, bad weather precluded any further attempts to trekking. So, preventing something because of some reason, under those circumstances, this word preclude is used. And let us come back to the passage here. 3/4 of the amount has been raised by buybacks, because as I have already mentioned here, buybacks means purchasing the shares. Because of purchasing the shares, government got money. That means it is, you can say, share buyback. When government got money, normally overall the percentage of ownership will not change much. As the percentage of ownership does not change much, because 3/4 of the amount has been raised by share buybacks, and this prevents some public holding in these companies. What is the purpose of this disinvestment? The purpose of disinvestment is increasing public holding. That means public should participate in the public sector enterprises, so that some transparency, then productivity, everything will increase. But here what is being done this year? This year share buyback took place. Because of share buyback, public shareholding may not increase. Because of that reason, there is no possibility of increased transparency and at the same time increased productivity. So, exactly that is the meaning of the sentence, because in passages you may feel that you understood everything, but finally when questions and answers are there, you will definitely do the mistake. Here this sentence, please understand, 3/4 of the amount has been raised by buybacks, which preclude some public holding in these companies, generating some additional pressure to perform and be transparent. As otherwise, if instead of buyback, if the government shareholding is sold to private parties, then public shareholding will increase and pressure will be there on the public sector enterprise to perform, to increase the productivity, to become transparent. But in this particular case, it is different, because government got revenue because of share buyback. Because of share buyback, the public shareholding may not increase much, and that is why the possibility of transparency, increased efficiency is not there. So, that is the exact meaning of the word preclude. Right friends, with this let us conclude, and tomorrow's thing I am mentioning here, tomorrow you will have discussion on this editorial, not RBI's job to oppose government. This is Economic Times editorial of 11th January. Right friends, with this let us conclude comprehension discussion for today. Please do join tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thanks a lot.